Hello again, Internet. It's once again much later than I had hoped before I get to sit here and do this. I have relocated to my living room because my bedroom is just too dark and doesn't have good enough internet. Again, rural broadband, access to Wi-Fi, these are things that impact on people living with disabilities and chronic conditions. So today was the first day where I had one morning, 1 hour of PA support in the morning and then one in the evening. So my morning PA used to do 40 minutes, or to be more precise, used to get paid for 40 minutes, which was based on 30 minutes to get me out of bed and then a redistributed extra 10 minutes in order to feed and walk my guide dog, assistance dog, Ari. The truth of it, though, is that my morning PA is usually here for an hour and often will go and do a message for me down the town. So tomorrow I need to ask her to go and get a new set of keys cut, and I need to ask her to lodge a cheque into the bank for me. Lodging a cheque into the bank is not a new thing. It's not because I'm recovering from surgery. It's because banks charge more than twice as much for staff-assisted transactions than automated transactions. So if you don't use the machines that they have installed in all of the branches, you get charged more than twice as much now. It's more like, I can't remember the last time I looked at the charges, but it had certainly gone up from twice as much to another quite staggering multiple. And the automated transactions within the branch, such as lodging a paper cheque, which is one of the ways I get financial support from the government, those machines are all inaccessible. They are completely inaccessible to someone with a visual impairment like myself, and that's not necessary. It is quite possible to get machines which have text-to-speech guidance on them that you could use by plugging in earphones. Not touch screens, because you can't tell where the bloody part of the screen is that you need to touch. Nice solid buttons that with nice tactile markers on them that you can feel, and audio feedback is what you need. But it also so happens that in my local branch, the way those machines are set up, they are all standing height. There are no sitting height machines, and they all have this privacy screen that curves around very close to the machine, so there's no space to get a wheelchair in there. So that's one of the things that my morning PA will be doing this week, which is outside of the hours that she is usually paid for, and will also be outside the extra 20 minutes per day that she will now be paid for. I had a second hour this evening, and within that hour, that was getting me dinner, that was feeding my dog, putting on a wash, and sundry little things like picking up all the stuff I drop on the floor. Big stuff or safe things, my dog can pick up for me. I drop my crutches 50 times a day and he can pick those up and give them back to me. But he's not so hot on bits of paper, and I tend to be surrounded by a lot of bits of paper despite not being able to read most of them, and they tend to just start cascading. I actually wrote a poem about that a while ago. It's called A Tidy Life. You can find that on my Poetry Zoo profile. That's poetryzoo.com/author/Isolde, Isolde. Oh God, digressions. You see, my brain is absolutely fried. I mean, this evening my PA she ran around for the entire hour. She did not stop once, and she was often trying to do several tasks at the same time. So, waiting for a kettle to boil or waiting for the microwave to ping. And meanwhile, she's putting away my shoes from 2 days ago, or remaking all of the various cushions and throws on the sofa that I sit on every day, or dealing with my post. She went flat out for that hour and didn't manage to feed the cats in that time, so I've just had to do that myself again. Also, I got really, really wrecked by seeing friends. This is, again, this is why it's not a good idea to ask friends to come and help. Because when a friend comes around, you want to talk to them. They want to talk to you. They want to know how you are. And of course you want to engage. But in this condition, that is absolutely exhausting. And the way that timings worked today, I had two visits very close together, and they were both just before my evening PA shift. So I ended up being really, really worn out. And the thing about when a PA comes around, it's not time off. Even with PAs that I've had for a really long time, you still have to direct things. You still have to say where things need to be put away. You still have to figure out and prioritise the things that need doing in the time that you have. So it was an hour's work for me as well as for her. That's going to be even more so with trying to figure out how to manage tasks differently in this different time scale, and having to get in a relatively new PA to do more tasks that she's not used to. I'm wrecked even talking to you about it. I also didn't have lunch today. I had a big empty space between my morning PA leaving at about 10 and my first visitor, which was around 4. I didn't sleep well last night. Didn't get any extra sleep today. I was doing quite a lot of thinking. I was thinking and planning and trying to work things out, trying to make calls that I have to make, and that's part of why I didn't get more sleep. So, yeah, I'm completely trashed now, and I still have to lock the doors, turn off all the lights. Thankfully, my evening PA closed my bedroom curtains before she left. That's one of the things that can be difficult sometimes, but I've spent hours lying on the sofa trying to get up the energy to go to the toilet, or to get something to eat, that's the reality. So I do apologise as well. I know the sound quality is not great on these videos, but as you can maybe hear, this is not what my voice always sounds like. This is tired voice. And yeah, I can only really use the equipment that I've got. I did spend the last hour trying to track down a different piece of software to use for recording, but that just turned into a dead end. I've had days where I turn on the computer because I want to write something and then have to spend literally several hours doing updates, trying to get bits of software to work, all of that kind of thing, and by that time, the urge to write is gone. And there's no funding to get new assistive technology like computer, iPhone. I need to get a new version of JAWS. I need a new version of Dragon. That's going to be a credit union loan, I think. But I can't read or write or get in touch with anybody if I don't have those things. So there's some more of the failings of the system. And I'm sure there was more I was trying to think of earlier, but it's just gone out my head. Can't do it anymore. So, good night, Internet. Please continue to share these. Please continue to put the pressure on your local election candidates, European election candidates, Minister for Health Simon Harris, Minister for Disabilities Finian McGrath, the HSE and the Northwest Physical and Sensory Disability Service. When they come around for a review of this setup, I'll just play them the videos. Good night.